Hey guys, it's Fel. So, a little change in scenery. We are currently in my rabbit room at the moment instead of in my bedroom. The reason for being in my rabbit room is because I am doing a animal tour today. So I figured I would just start it off in here and I would start showing you guys the rabbits. I have all kinds of animals, so just stick around if you want to see all of them. So these are my rabbits, Danny and Loon. Danny is the solid black one that kind of looks like a shadow, and Loon is the brown one that almost looks like a wild rabbit next to her. Danny I've had for over a year now. I've had her for a couple years actually. She is my retired 4-H show rabbit because I did do rabbit shows while I was with 4-H until I graduated out. Loon, however, is a rescue from somebody I know off of Snapchat who needed to get rid of him and they couldn't take care of him properly. So I got him and visited him with our vet, and he has been so much better ever since, and he's doing wonderfully. He's a lot better condition than he was whenever we first got him. And him and Danny are a bonded pair. They get along great. That was my biggest concern when rescuing him, was if they would get along. And there's no aggression issues between them. They're always cuddling and grooming each other. They are definitely like a bonded pair, and they're around the same age, which I'm thankful for. That way, if one passes, it's not too long before the other does, so they don't have to live without their pair for too long. And I have some bonus clips and stuff in here as well, so there's just some of those. But yeah, that's the rabbits, Danny and Loon. This is my crested gecko 15. I named them 15 as in gecko and Geico. They are only a couple months old, so they're still a baby, and they do still in fact have their tail. And they are currently in this 12 by 12 Exoterra that is behind me. But yeah, that is 15. They are a precious little baby to me, and I absolutely love them. And yeah, I'm just gonna quickly put him back. I don't know the gender. They're only a baby, and because of that, I don't know the gender. And as you saw there in the background, they just sort of hop back into their little home, drink some water, go back to sleep because it's daytime and they like to sleep in the day. So yeah, that's my crested gecko 15. This is my hermit crab tank. My hermit crab's names are Bug and Marcy. Yes, Marcy is short for Marceline, as in Princess Bubblegum and Marceline. I actually at one point did have a crab named Princess Bubblegum, but Marcy and Bug apparently decided it was a good idea to eat her. So this is Bug. He is the largest of my hermit crabs. As you can see, his claw compared to my thumb, it's pretty big. He's a pretty big boy, but I absolutely love him. He's the first crab I ever got when I was around 17 years old, so I've had him for a few years now. And he usually, you can see he's starting to come out of his shell a little bit. He's usually pretty good with handling and stuff. Like I said, I've had him for a few years, so I've been handling him for a while. And he is just like an absolute sweetheart for me anyways. So yeah, this is my hermit crab Bug, and his sister Marcy, I believe, is over here. Yeah. This is Marcy. She's a lot more out and about and stuff during the day. And she definitely crawls around. She's a lot smaller than Bug. I've only had her maybe a year or so. But yeah, I've tried adding other crabs to these two because they do best in groups of 3 to 5. But the both of them keep eating anybody I put in there with them. So I no longer put people in there with them. So that's the two of them. I'm going to just set them right back in there. They are just in a standard little 10-gallon. I did have them in a 20-gallon whenever I was adding third crabs to them, but they both decided that that was a bad idea and kept eating them. So I downgraded them to this 10-gallon, and you're about to see what I put in their 20-gallon. This is my leopard gecko Zodiac. They are an absolute sweetheart. I just got them yesterday, actually, so they are still very new, so I'm not going to handle them too much. They're just a little baby. Like you can see, they fit in my hand. They do have their tail still, and I do plan on doing everything in my power to keep them intact. This tank will be like their only tank when they're an adult and stuff, because it is a 20-gallon long. So for right now, they are perfectly fine in there. They have their 3 hides, they have their food and calcium dish, they have their water dish. They absolutely love it. I keep tabs on the temperature and stuff. And right now it's a little low because it got too high, and so I'm letting it cool down a little bit before I go plugging the heat mat back in. But you can see them just crawling around and stuff, looking around, and they are just absolutely precious. I love leopard geckos. My dream gecko is an African fat tail, and the leopard gecko is a very close second to that. So I just went ahead and got a leopard gecko. And yeah, so that is their tank. And again, they're just right over here, just chilling by the food bowl. This is my betta fish tank. My betta fish is right there in that top corner, as you can see, kind of following my finger a little bit. I have him trained to me. It's actually pretty nice. His name is Bones because I put a skull in his tank, so I named him Bones. He's just a standard solid black orchid betta fish, and there's also an algae-eating pleco in there. This tank is a combination of live and fake plants because like certain live plants I can handle, like Anubis and Amazon sword, but then there were other live plants like moss balls that kept dying, and I just decided to mix in the two because I liked the color scheme of it a lot better because it just sort of works better with the multicolored gravel. So that is my betta fish tank. It's just a standard little 5-gallon because it's only 2 little fish in there. But yeah. And these are my dogs. This fluffy black one right here is Jax. He loves shaking hands and any form of attention, really. He is a rescue who will be turning 3 this month, actually. And then the big one there is Ellie. She will turn 4 in July. She is also technically a rescue. So I love both of them to death. They are my dogs. Like, they sleep with me and they stay in my area and stuff. Like, they stay in my room at night, and whenever my granddad doesn't want them, it's my job to, you know, take care of them. So those two are mine. And then this is my granddad's little dog, Rosebud. She is going to be 12. She just turned 11, actually, in January. So she is definitely the old girl. So, that was all my animals. I really hoped you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy future videos I do with my animals in the future. And if you want to see more, like tank setups and maybe a couple care guides once about some of my animals that I am pretty experienced with, then just let me know down in the comments, and stick around, subscribe and like so you can see and be notified whenever I do upload those videos. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.